If you're familiar with the game of chess, you might be familiar with the term an elegant move. And this is a move that happens during a game when the move that you should be making might seem obvious. The opponent is creating an attack on you that, there seems to be an obvious move to counter this attack. Yet, the player finds a brilliant move that accomplishes more than just deflect the attack. It creates a tactical advantage. It creates a strategic positional advantage. It counters the attack. It creates a counterattack. It's a move. An elegant move is a chess move that does several things at once, and there is no move better than that move. All right, and this is the same in business. In business, when we have a problem, so for example, let's say our problem that we're trying to solve is new patient acquisition for a dental practice. There's a lot of solutions we could take. There's a lot of different paths to solving this. Yet the elegant solution is one that is arguably the best because it will integrate many different properties, or particularly 3 core properties, into the solution that the other solutions don't have. All right, so this is why we care about figuring out what an elegant solution is. An elegant solution, so let's look at why you should care. These are the properties of an elegant solution, what it has, and imagine owning these properties, okay? So the elegant solution has simplicity. Simplicity is at the core of an elegant solution. If you have an elegant solution, that means you're not doing things more complicated than it needs to be. It's as simple as can be, while also meeting the other 2 criteria. And the others are efficient. So if your solution is creating a ton of waste, or let's say it's very costly, or it's creating side effects that you don't want, then we don't call it efficient, okay? So it has to balance these 2, and finally, effective. I don't care how simple it is, I don't care how efficient it is. If it's not getting the result that we want, then it's not a solution at all, I would argue. So an elegant solution blends all 3 factors in, all 3 properties, into, right here, is what we would consider an elegant solution. So these are all on a spectrum. You might think, okay, effective, that sounds like it's binary. It's either effective or it's not. Well, you can look at it at a time horizon. So let's look at Google Ads. In a time horizon, in a short-term time horizon, it's very effective. You can see results within weeks, right? You pay money, you get results, you get new patients. It's a very effective solution. Now, if you look at permission assets, it's going to be very ineffective at first. At first, you do all these things, you make videos, you write blog posts, and you're going to get no results. But over time, this effectiveness becomes very big. And if you look at the efficiency of it, Google Ads is pretty wasteful. You have to pay a lot regularly. But a permission asset, later as you go, becomes very efficient. All right, so these are how these things are all on a spectrum. So what we're looking for is where all of these become viable. So simplicity, at its purest, is going to be too simple. It's going to have all the elements of simplicity, but it's not going to be complex enough to be efficient or complex enough to be effective. All right, if you have something that's very effective, it's not going to be ineffective enough to be simple and inefficient enough to be effective. All right, and something that's effective, it's not going to be ineffective enough to become efficient and ineffective enough to become simple. I hope that's making sense. Because it really is about balancing all these 3. If you just have one, you're gonna lose out on one of the others, and having all 3 in balance is essential for your practice. Right? Just think of like what it would be like to have something that's very complicated, or something that's very inefficient, or something that's very ineffective. At each level, it becomes very frustrating to own. So we're looking for an elegant solution. What is that? I hope you can see the value of it. So let's look into how that's created. All right. So obviously, the elegant solution now is pretty complex. All these simple solutions, all these simple approaches that we've tried that have worked and that audience have gotten numb to means that we have to elevate the complexity of how we approach the situation. All right. And the things that used to be efficient are becoming inefficient now. So we have to think, how can we balance simplicity or complexity to create more efficiency in a world where the original things that we used to do are becoming more inefficient, right? And effectiveness, like I said, people are getting numb. So things are getting less effective. How do we create this solution that becomes more effective, right? And to answer this it's not a simple answer, trust me. And this is the basis, this is the problem that we were trying to solve when we created our strategy course. So it's in the link in the description below. It goes through creating an elegant solution just for your practice. So it'll walk you through all the things we need to do in the proper amount of complexity, in the best efficiency, and the most effective methods of marketing that exists in our modern times. So if you're looking for an elegant solution, check out the course below. Thanks.